guys, it's Emily, and today I'm here to bring you part 3 of my January 2017 wrap-up. This is going to be my last wrap-up of the month, and I have 3 books to show you, so let's just get right into it. The first book I finished since my last wrap-up was The Silver Chair by C.S. Lewis. This is the 4th book in the Chronicles of Narnia series, which of course I've been working my way through. This book is featuring Eustace, who was in the 3rd book, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and then his friend from school, Jill. And Jill and Eustace go to a very, secular school where, they don't learn about God, and it's sort of portrayed as like a Montessori school where the kids are basically allowed to do whatever they want, and of course C.S. Lewis doesn't approve of that, so it's a very negative place. But anyway, so they're being chased by a bully, and they end up back in Narnia, and they are met by Aslan, and he gives them a task. They have 4 signs that they have to follow to find the missing Prince Brilliant, who's been missing for a long time and was kidnapped, or they think he was kidnapped by a witch. And so Eustace and Jill meet up with a marshwiggle named Puddleglum, and Puddleglum is kind of the guy who expects everything to go wrong. He's very negative, and so they're on this quest to find the missing Prince Brilliant, but Jill is the one that has the signs. She's the one who meets Aslan, and she sort of forgets the signs, and so they get off their track, and they end up in being captured by some giants, and then they are taken underground by when they're trying to get away from these giants. And anyway, they end up, I don't want to spoil it, but things end up pretty well, and they eventually get back to their home. But I can only give this 3 stars. This is the first Chronicles of Narnia book that I gave 3 stars. I don't know, I just found it not as exciting as the other 3, and they spend a lot of time underground, like I said, and they literally cannot, it's like pure darkness, and so it's just like them crawling around trying to find their way out, and it wasn't as engaging, and again, I felt like the drama was kind of resolved rather quickly, just like the other books, but this time it's just like, they all seem to be very similar. There's an evil witch or an evil person that they have to defeat, and they have to find a missing person. I don't know, it just seems like they're getting kind of similar from all of them together. But I am going to continue the series, of course. They're not very long, so I don't think the other 3 books in the series won't take me that long. But yeah, I enjoyed this. If you're reading the series, it's a good book to read. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend starting with it because it does reference the other books, and like I said, Eustace is in the other books. So yeah, the book I want to talk about today is Moriarty by Anthony Horowitz. I read this for the hashtag SHReads17, which was hosted by Winks over at Winks and Ink, and Winks actually read all Sherlock Holmes related books this month, but I only read this one because I don't have that many on my Sherlock Holmes things on my TBR. So this is the sequel to The House of Silk, which I read back in May 2016. And in this one, Holmes has been killed, or they think he's been killed, by, going over Reichenbach Falls with Moriarty. And so in the aftermath, there's this American criminal mastermind, Clarence DeVoe, who has come over to London, and he wants to sort of take over Moriarty's operation. And so Inspector Jones, who is mentioned in the Sherlock Holmes canon, and then a new American detective, Frederick Chase, are both looking for Clarence DeVoe and trying to catch him out, so to speak, so that they can take him down. And so it starts in Switzerland, right after the Reichenbach Falls incident, and Frederick Chase and Inspector Jones meet, and they sort of team up, and they travel back to London, and it's sort of just their adventures in trying to find Clarence DeVoe and get him to stop his criminal enterprise. It was a very interesting read. I actually was sort of disappointed because Holmes and Watson were not mentioned very much, except like right at the beginning, of course, when they think Sherlock Holmes is dead. But most of the book is just Frederick Chase and Inspector Jones traveling around London and breaking up various enterprises that were developed by Clarence Defoe. It was a pretty interesting book, and I actually ended up really liking it just because, the ending was kind of interesting. I don't want to spoil anything, but the ending does, start up feelings. You're like, what in the heck? I didn't know that was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting book. I enjoyed reading this, and I know Winks read this as well. She started with The House of Silk, and she liked that one so much. She started this one, so I'll be interested to see her review. But in the audience, I enjoyed this. If you want to read this without reading House of Silk, I think it's totally okay because it's not really connected to the story of the House of Silk because, Holmes is dead or allegedly dead. So yeah, if you want to pick this up because you like Sherlock Holmes stories, I would recommend it. And like I said, you definitely do not have to read the sequel to read the first book to appreciate this book. So yeah, this was a really great read. I counted this for the Around the Year in 52 books. There's a prompt to read a sequel, basically, so I picked that. So after I finished Moriarty, I had actually finished my TBR for the month of January, which I was quite surprised about. I actually read, like, every book I had written down that I wanted to read, and that's rare for me. Normally I don't do TBRs at all, because I don't think I'm going to stick to them. So I finished that. I was looking for something else to read, and I saw that The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead was going to be the group book for diverseathon, and I wasn't really planning to participate in diverseathon or anything, but because I already had this book and because I had finished my TBR, I decided, why not? I'll read the group book. So I picked it up, and it was also nice because my mom actually had been asking me about whether I was going to read this book anytime soon, because she really wanted to read it as well. And so it sort of killed two birds with one stone to pick it up, or maybe even three stones if you consider that, I didn't really have anything to read after my TBR. So yeah, this was probably the best book of the month for me. I really enjoyed it, and it's just a fascinating book. The discussion for the diverseathon, read along hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen tomorrow night. So I'm looking forward to that, and I am excited to hear what people say about it. Starting this book, I didn't really know anything about it except that it's sort of like an alternative history. In this book, the Underground Railroad is an actual underground railroad. It's got literal stations and tracks, and people have the stations underneath their house, and so it's a literal railroad. So this book follows Cora, and Cora is a slave in Georgia, and her mother escaped from slavery, when she was really young, and she's the only slave from their plantation that's ever made it out. And so Cora's always sort of resented her, as well as admired her for leaving. And so one night, another slave, Caesar, asks her if she will escape with him. So they escape, and they end up getting to one of the stations of the Underground Railroad, and they make it to South Carolina, which is the next state. And then it's just about their lives because they keep sort of being found out and they have to move from state to state on the Underground Railroad. And it's sort of a picture of how each state individually deals with the problem of slavery and African Americans. So in South Carolina, the blacks are free for the most part, but then they come to find out that they're not actually free. And then in North Carolina, black people are not allowed to live there at all, and so if you're caught, you're immediately killed. And then they go to Tennessee, and then they end up in Indiana. And so it's just a progression of her journey on the Underground Railroad, and all the challenges and the people she meets. I did enjoy this. I don't know if I loved it like a lot of people did. I did give it a 4-star rating, mostly because, I would read this again someday in the future. It's a very interesting concept. I've never read anything else by Colson Whitehead, so I don't really know anything about how it compares to his other books. Of course, this has been very popular in real life and on BookTube. President Obama mentioned it last year as one of his favorite books. So yeah, it's a really interesting read. I would highly recommend it if you're interested in picking it up, and I'm looking forward to discussing it tomorrow on the diverseathon discussion. So that's all I read this month, and right now I'm reading Romantic Outlaws by Charlotte Gordon, a chunker of a book. It's got 640 pages in it, and so I don't think I'm going to finish it before February starts, so I'm not going to just mention it in my wrap-up in February. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a great day, and you've had a great January, and I'll talk to you in February. Bye!